Hello, this is David Ferguson from MLC CAD Systems. I just want to take a couple of minutes to show you how easy and effective the multi-axis Debur toolpath is, even on a simple 3-axis part. What I've got in front of me is just a little intake manifold flange. We're assuming I've already machined it, and what I'm looking to do is just break all those edges on the top. Now, traditionally I would use a contour set as a chamfer to do this, and that's a perfectly acceptable way to do it. But the Debur toolpath is so easy to use and so quick that it is hard to resist. So I'm going to jump up here to my multi-axis gallery. I'm going to fire up a multi-axis Debur toolpath, although understand we are only using 3 axes for this, so it is limited to 3 axis in this application. I'm going to be using a 3/8 ball nose end mill. I'm going to go to my cut pattern page to go ahead and define where I want to perform this path. The first thing I need to do with this is let Mastercam and the toolpath know what the part is. So I'm going to select that as my machining geometries, and effectively I'm just going to triple click the part to select everything. A window chain or Control A would also work if that's the only thing on my screen, but triple click works in this case. So once I've got it selected, I will end selection. I can let Mastercam determine the edges on its own, but I tend to prefer to use a user-defined method where I still have to select the edges, but I can let Mastercam basically decide on its own if I want to. Setting it to user-defined, I'll go ahead and click to define those edges with my chain window using a solid chain, and I'm just going to be doing loops. So I'll start with a loop around the outside edge, and if you notice, solid chaining these days is almost as easy as using wireframe. Relatively painless to do. Not too concerned about direction. It will do these as a climb mill because I'm going to tell it to do it as a climb. So as long as I get the basics there, I'm good. That looks okay to me. So I'll go ahead and I'll green check to get back into my dialog. 8 edges defined. We'll be doing a constant width style at 20 thou, just standard issue kind of stuff. It's enough to see it. And this will be a traditional flat style edge break, so one pass should get it done. I'm then going to go to my tool axis control and just confirm that I am limiting this to only 3 axes, so good for a vertical mill. And then I'll go to my linking parameters or my linking page, and I'll just go ahead and tighten everything up a little bit. So my clearance type is set to a plane by default. The height can be determined automatic, but again, I tend to do things as user-defined. It's not a terribly thick part, so we'll go ahead and make that as tight as we can. And I'll go ahead and tighten up and reduce my rapid feed and air distances as well. We'll just drop those down significantly just to tighten everything up. My links between passes, I can either go to a clearance area, so to my 1-inch clearance defined height. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use a blended spline. I just like that style a little bit better. And I'll go ahead and replace any rapid move with a determined feed output, just so I don't get any unwanted surprises on the machine. With that done, I'll go ahead and green check and generate that path. We can see we've got a nice path between all those edges. Those are those blended spline links. We'll go ahead and take a look at this and verify and just see kind of what our edge breaks look like. So again, using that model as our stock basis, I'll go ahead and slow it down a little bit so we can see what's going on. And we should have a nice clean edge break all the way around that part. Very quick, very simple. A lot of functionality, a lot of control you can have with this path. And you notice it's not necessarily doing it in the order that I chained it. It's doing it in the order of the feature, essentially, that's next. So I did the outside edge and then the pockets and then the holes. Starts with the outside edge and then basically takes the interior features sort of as they come. And you notice everything's being done as a climb, even though some of my chains were not chained directionally for a climb mill. So very quick, very simple. And a very effective little toolpath, even if you don't have a 5-axis machine.